Welcome to Sports Talk with Matt and Fred. I'm your host, Matt Palizzi. Alright, so we got a lot of football to talk. Pretty much this podcast, I'm going to pretty much sit there and talk about three different trades that have happened in the past 3 or 4 days. So we're going to go back to last week where Davante Adams was traded from the Packers to the Raiders for a first and a second round pick. So, pretty much there must have been something going on between Davante Adams. He must have just gotten sick of Aaron Rodgers, which, I mean, anyone can really blame you there. So, pretty much that's that. I mean, I guess he didn't even say goodbye to him. It's, yeah, pretty amazing. They were supposedly supposed to be best friends, and I think he just got tired. Yeah, he's got tired of Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers, in my honest opinion, is just a drama queen. He has to have everything his way, or the highway. So yeah, so that trade happened. That trade happened right after I did my last video that I sent out last week. Um, Now there's the big trade that happened, which I think it was Saturday. Pretty sure it was Saturday when this trade happened. Uh, and that was Deshaun Watson. And he accepted a trade of going to the Cleveland Browns. And he was traded for three firsts, I think a third and a fifth was what the details of that were. Now, the whole issue with this is the Browns really had to go way out of their way to get him to sign because he originally sat there and said, well, I decided that I'm ruling you guys out, and it was down to the Saints and Panthers and Falcons. And right before I had gone on, I had a source who had said that they thought that it was going to be the Falcons that he was going to choose. So that's why I almost blurted that out on the last one that I was on, last video, and I decided not to because you never know when something could be wrong. So I waited until it officially came out. So this whole thing with Watson, obviously, he's still got 22 more civil suits of 22 more women in civil suits coming out of him sexually harassing whatever he did. And yet, the NFL hasn't done a thing. He shouldn't even have been allowed to be traded until all this was done with. And the thing that really bugs me is, I mean, there better be a suspension. There better be at least a suspension. You sit there and you blackball a quarterback, Colin Kaepernick, because of what he believed in, but you are going to allow a quarterback who sat there and sexually harassed and sexually whatever else he did with these 22 lawsuits of 22 different women, and you allow him to come play on the field. Like, it's pretty disgusting. And then the only reason he actually came to Cleveland, sorry, Cleveland fans out there, the only reason he came is because you threw all this money at him and you guaranteed to him that he would not be, uh, let's see, how I say, he wouldn't, when he got suspended, he wouldn't lose any money. So he gets 230 million guaranteed no matter what happens. No matter if he's suspended for the year, suspended for 6 games, 10 games, whatever it happens to be. And it's just pretty disgusting, NFL, that you sit there and allow this. And I know you're going to eventually probably suspend him, but he really should be banned and blackballed out of the NFL just like Kaepernick. And Kaepernick should be playing right now, and he did nothing even close to what Deshaun Watson is being accused of. So it's just disgusting. But it's the NFL. They only care about what affects them, and it doesn't affect them. You're gonna find out it's going to, because yeah. It's just, yeah, ugh, it just gives me the creeps just thinking about what he did. But yeah. So there's pretty much that trade that went down that's been talked about for the past 2 or 3 days. Then there was a trade that happened today because of Watson going to Cleveland. Then you had the Bills who traded for Case of Keenum. So the Browns sent him to Buffalo. Um, Baker Mayfield should be the next one that gets traded now. And I'm hearing like Seattle and Carolina. Yeah, please just go to the NFC. There was also another trade that happened, and that was today. Matt Ryan got traded to the Colts for a third round pick, which I think they should have gotten more than just a third round pick for Matt Ryan. I understand he's getting up there in age, but he's still got a good arm. But so yeah, those were all the pretty much trades that happened. The Bills made a bunch of moves between Saturday and today. The Bills, like I said, traded for Casey Keenum. Then they signed Matt Barkley, so now they got their quarterback room set. Keenum and Barkley battle for the number 2 spot, and then you just have whoever one doesn't win that battle goes to the practice squad. Let's see. What else? Oh, they signed running back Duke Johnson. He's pretty good. They also just signed wide receiver Jamison Crowder, which he's good. Slot receiver they need now that they lost Beasley. Let's see. They also signed an offensive lineman, Greg Mance. I can't remember how you say his name. Something on Mance side, but he played for Baltimore and for who else? Who else did he play for? Oh, Miami. That's who it was. Maybe someone else too, but those are teams I know of. Let's see. Who else did they sign today? They signed someone else. Um, Mance, Duke Johnson, which I said already. Uh, Jamison Crowder. And I thought there was one other name, but I can't think of who it was. But yeah. So those were a bunch of moves made by the Bills, and those are some trades that happened over the last pretty much 3 or 4 days up to today. So yeah, it's getting pretty interesting. NFL is always going like it is. Yeah. So that's pretty much it for this episode of Sports Talk with Matt and Fred. Um, Please subscribe to my YouTube station channel, Sports Talk with Matt and Fred. That's all you gotta type in, Sports Talk with Matt and Fred, and subscribe. And definitely, yeah, check out my videos. So yeah, this is Sports Talk with Matt and Fred. I'm your host, and let's see what else we got. Nothing else really. I'm gonna come out with a couple more podcast here, videos, whatever you want to call them. The NHL trade deadline is today, so I'm gonna do another video of that probably tomorrow, and I'm gonna do probably a recap of the weekend of a lot of March Madness and stuff, and NBA and NHL. So yeah, there's probably a couple more videos coming out in the next couple days. That's Sports Talk with Matt and Fred. As we always say, see ya.